The war had ended. After 7 years of blood, fire, and silence in space, peace was signed between humans and the Zalarian alien race known for their glowing eyes, soft voices, and unmatched beauty. But peace came with strange new laws. To prevent future wars, the new Human-Zalari Treaty introduced something called the Pairing Program. Every soldier who served in the war was to be assigned a Zalari companion. They called it cultural exchange. Most humans called it weird. Captain Rayan Holt didn't understand it either. He had lost friends. He had seen cities burn. He didn't want peace gifts. He wanted rest. But the order was final. "You've been assigned a Zalari partner," said the officer. "She will arrive in 2 hours. Be ready." Rayan didn't even unpack. He just sat in the small unit given to him by the Peace Authority, watching the clock, waiting. And then she arrived. The door opened and in stepped a young alien girl. She had glowing silver eyes, short dark curls, and smooth violet skin. Her smile was so wide, so pure, it made Rayan freeze. "I'm Aria," she said, placing her small bag on the floor. "They told me you're strong and kind." He didn't answer. She looked around. "It's quiet here." "Good. I like quiet." He finally spoke. "You don't need to stay here. I don't want this program." She tilted her head, still smiling. "But I do." Rayan frowned. "Why?" "Because you were chosen," she said. "And I asked for you." He blinked. "You asked?" Aria nodded. "We saw footage from the war. I saw how you protected the wounded, how you carried your captain. Even after he died, you were gentle in chaos. I told them, if I must go to a human, I want that one." Rayan stood up. "You think this is love?" She laughed lightly. "No, not yet. But it could be. I'm not ready for this." He said, "You don't have to be," she whispered. "I am." He looked at her again, really looked. Her smile hadn't faded once. Not from fear, not from discomfort. Just warmth. "I don't know what to say." "Then don't," she said. "Just eat with me tonight. That's all." Outside, another explosion shook the sky. Some rebel groups still refused peace. But inside that room, the air was still. One broken soldier, one smiling alien, and a treaty that would change the future. One strange match at a time. The dinner was quiet. Rayan sat across from Aria at the small metal table. 2 bowls of protein stew steamed between them. She smiled at every bite. He barely touched his food. She finally broke the silence. "Do you always eat like that?" "Like what?" he asked. "Like the food might attack you." He looked away. "It's not the food." She tilted her head, still smiling. "Then what is it?" "You." Aria didn't stop smiling. "Good. At least we're honest now." Rayan placed his spoon down. "I didn't ask for you." "I know," she said. "I didn't ask for a treaty, or a pairing, or a wife from another species. I know that too." "Then why are you so calm?" "So happy?" She leaned forward. "Because I wasn't given to you. I came here by choice." He narrowed his eyes. "You said that before, that you picked me." She nodded. "I meant it." "Why?" Aria looked around the room. It was simple: 2 beds, 1 table, 1 light, no decoration, no warmth. "You lost people," she said. "I saw it on your face the moment I entered. Pain sits inside you like stone. But you still protect others. That's rare. That's beautiful." He looked down. Her words cut through the silence. "You talk like this is a fairy tale," he said. She smiled again. "Maybe, or maybe it's a beginning." He stood. "I don't know if I can do this." "I didn't ask you to love me," she said softly. "I only asked for a chance." That night, Rayan lay in bed but didn't sleep. Aria's presence was quiet, respectful, always smiling but never pushing. He turned to look at her. She was awake, staring at the ceiling. "You're not sleeping either," he said. "No," she whispered. "I'm waiting." "For what?" 4. The moment you stop looking at me like I'm a stranger. The next morning, he woke up first. Aria was already making tea. The smell filled the small room. He sat up. You don't drink that, she smiled. No, but you do. He watched her. The smile wasn't just decoration. It was real. It had meaning, but something still felt off. Later that day, a soldier arrived at their door. A messenger. Captain Holt, you're being summoned to command. Rayan nodded. Why? There's a rebel group, Zalari extremists. They've been tracking assigned pairings. You may be a target. Aria stepped forward. Are we in danger? The soldier looked at her. You especially. She didn't stop smiling, but this time, Rayan noticed something in her eyes. Not joy, not comfort, fear, asterisk. The walk to command center was long and quiet. Rayan kept his eyes forward, but he felt Aria's presence beside him. She didn't speak. She didn't smile. Not today. When they reached the base, a security scan passed over them both. A red light flickered when it scanned Aria. The guard looked up. She doesn't have full clearance. She's with me, Rayan said firmly. The guard paused, then let them through. Inside the control room, officers stood around a glowing table. Maps, data, and live feeds lit up the space. At the center was Commander Briggs. Briggs didn't greet them. He got straight to the point. We intercepted a message last night, he said. A Zalari extremist group is planning to break the treaty. They've already targeted 2 pairings. 1 human is dead. 1 alien girl is missing. Aria's eyes widened slightly, but she stayed quiet. Briggs looked at her. You might be next. Or you might be part of it. Rayan stepped forward. She's not a spy. You've known her for what, 2 days? Briggs replied. I know enough. No, you don't, Aria said quietly. Both men turned toward her. Aria took a breath. Her smile was gone. I was warned before I came here, she said. My family told me the extremists would come after anyone who bonded with humans. They said I would be hunted, but I still came. Why didn't you tell us this earlier? Briggs asked. Because I didn't want fear to be the first thing between us, she said, looking at Rayan. I wanted hope. Briggs looked at Rayan. You still trust her? Rayan didn't answer right away. Then he said, she had every chance to lie. But she didn't. That's worth something. Briggs nodded. Then you'll both stay in protected housing. No leaving the perimeter. Rayan agreed. But that night, back in their room, he noticed something. Aria sat on the bed, staring at a small glowing stone in her hand. What's that? He asked. It's a memory crystal, she said, from my mother. What's inside it? She looked at him. A message. It says, if your heart ever breaks, play this. It will remind you who you are. Is it broken now? He asked. Aria looked down. Not yet. He sat beside her. Tell me the truth. Why do you always smile? She hesitated. Then whispered, because if I don't, I'll cry. Rayan's chest tightened. He had seen her strength, her calm, her patience, but now he saw her pain. He reached out and touched her hand. I'm not good at this, he said. I know, she whispered, but I'm trying. She looked at him with wide, quiet eyes. That's all I ever wanted. Outside, a shadow moved across the building. Someone was watching. The sound came late at night, a soft click near the window. Then silence. Rayan sat up instantly. Years of war had trained his body to wake before his mind. He stepped quietly toward the window and pulled the curtain slightly. In the darkness, a shape moved. Someone was outside. He turned to Aria. She was awake, already watching him. You heard it too? He asked. She nodded. They're here. Rayan grabbed the emergency pistol from under his bed and checked the battery level. Full charge. Stay low, he said. She didn't argue. She moved to the corner and took the crystal from under her pillow, holding it tight in her hands. Suddenly, the door burst open. A masked figure stepped inside, weapon raised, before Rayan could fire. The figure spoke. "Give us the Zalari. No one else has to die." Rayan didn't move. "You don't want to do this," he said. "We protect the bloodline," the intruder growled. "Humans and Zalari must not mix. It's forbidden." "She's not just Zalari," Rayan said. "She's mine." He fired. The blast hit the intruder in the shoulder, knocking him to the ground. But more footsteps followed. Two more entered behind him. Aria stood slowly. Her hands glowed faintly now. Her skin shimmered with soft energy. "I didn't want to use this," she said, "but I won't let you take me." She raised her hands. A pulse of blue light pushed the intruders back. The lights in the room flickered. Rayan looked at her in shock. "You're enhanced?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "A small gift from my mother's side. I was never trained to use it fully." The attackers recovered and rushed again. Rayan fired another shot. Aria raised a shield of light. Together, they pushed back until the last one fell. When the dust cleared, Rayan stood panting, weapon smoking. Aria's hands trembled. "You didn't tell me about that," he said, eyes still wide. "I didn't want you to think I was dangerous," she said softly. "You're not dangerous," he replied. "You're incredible." She looked up. Her smile was there again. But now, it was mixed with tears. "I thought if I smiled enough, I wouldn't have to fight," she whispered. "I thought peace meant no pain." Rayan stepped closer. "Peace doesn't mean no pain. It means choosing who you'll stand beside when pain comes." She touched his hand. "Then I choose you." The alarm rang. Security had arrived. The attackers were taken away. Rayan and Arya were moved to a high-security location, deep inside. The base. The attack changed everything. Earth Command now saw the pairing program not just as peace, but as a threat. Briggs called Rayan the next morning. "There will be a review," he said. "Some are asking if the Zalari pairing should be ended." Rayan's voice was steady. "If they take her away from me, I walk." Briggs didn't argue. "Then be ready. You'll both speak at the council." Aria looked at Rayan after the call. "Are you really ready to stand with me in front of them?" "All?" He nodded. "Not just stand with you. Fight for you." For the first time, her smile wasn't just soft. It was strong. Asterisk. The council chamber was massive. Silent. Rayan and Arya walked into the room together. High-ranking officers and government leaders filled the seats, their faces cold, some intrigued, others with eyes that burned with judgment. The air felt heavy. Rayan's hands clenched into fists by his side. Arya stood beside him. She looked calm, but her small trembling fingers betrayed her. Rayan wanted to comfort her, but now wasn't the time. He had to focus. The head of the council, Chancellor Velka, stood and called the session to order. "Today, we discuss the union between Rayan and the Zalari princess, Aria." Velka's voice was firm. "The threat of a hybrid child has created tensions we cannot ignore. Some say this pairing could be dangerous. It could open the door to chaos." Arya's chest tightened at the words. She glanced at Rayan. He nodded, encouraging her to speak. "You say hybrid," she began, her voice clear, "but we are all hybrids of something. My mother, my father, and I are all part of this galaxy. My heart is as full of love for this planet as yours." A murmur spread through the room. "They are not just words," Aria continued. "Rayan and I did not choose each other just because we were assigned. We chose each other because we share a future. We have the same dreams, the same hopes. We fight together. We stand together." The silence in the room grew. Her words hung in the air. Rayan stepped forward, his voice firm. "She is not a weapon. She is my partner. My equal. We are stronger together." Chancellor Velka's gaze remained on them. "And you believe the entire galaxy should follow your example?" Rayan didn't hesitate. Yes, because love doesn't divide, it unites. One of the council members, a man with gray hair and a stiff uniform, stood up. What if your love leads to destruction? What if it threatens everything we fought to protect? Aria met his gaze without fear. What? If love is the answer? What if it's the only thing that can heal us? For a moment, the room was dead silent. The council's reactions were mixed. Some whispered among themselves, others stared ahead with cold faces. Rayan could feel the pressure building. He knew the stakes were high, but his heart was steady. He wasn't going to back down. Chancellor Velka raised his hand to silence the room. This council is not here to judge feelings, he said, his voice sharp. We are here to decide what is best for the future of humanity and the galaxy. He paused and looked at Aria. You have one chance, he said slowly. Convince US. Show us that your union will benefit the galaxy, not tear it apart. Aria took a deep breath, then spoke. What I can offer is not just love, but unity. I have power. We both have power. Together, we can bring peace. Rayan stepped forward again, his words powerful. And if you still think we're a threat, then I'll stand with Aria, no matter what. We will not let fear keep us from the future. The room fell into another heavy silence. Finally, Velka spoke. We will deliberate. The waiting felt longer than the war. Rayan and Arya sat outside the council chamber, side by side. Neither spoke. Every second was heavy. Every breath felt like it might be their last as a pair. Arya clutched her crystal, the one from her mother. Her hands shook, but she smiled anyway. Rayan noticed. You're smiling again, he said softly. I'm scared, she replied. Then why smile? To remind myself that no matter what they say, I chose this. I chose you. He took her hand. We'll walk out of here together. No matter what. The doors opened. A guard stepped out. The council is ready. They entered. Chancellor Velka stood. So did the other members. Their faces were serious, but no longer cold. Velka spoke. After careful consideration, this council has come to a decision. The entire room held its breath. While this union breaks tradition, it does not break law. And more importantly, it has proven something we did not expect. He looked at Aria. You stood with your partner when it was dangerous. You defended him, not as a warrior, but as someone who believes in peace. Then he looked at Rayan. And you chose her, not because of orders, but because of trust. He paused. This council will allow the pairing to remain. The program will continue with greater protections and new understanding. Aria blinked. You mean, Velka nodded. You are free to continue your life. Together. Cheers broke out across the chamber. Even some of the hard-faced council members clapped quietly. Rayan felt his knees go weak. Arya just smiled. This time, it was pure joy. As they stepped out of the hall, the sun warmed the sky. Reporters rushed toward them, cameras flashing. People cheered, some still protested. But it didn't matter. They had done what no one else could. They had proven that connection across stars wasn't just possible, it was powerful. Aria looked at Rayan as they walked down the steps. So what now? He smiled back. Now, we start living. She giggled softly. Does that include breakfast? Yes, but this time, he added, you're eating it too. They laughed together, walking hand in hand toward whatever future waited for them. Not as soldier and alien, not as assignment and duty, but as equals. As something real, and her smile never faded again.